So guys, yesterday we were looking at our lasso guard. We're going to warm up with the same entry, but we're going to do an abridged version of it today. All I'm doing is I'm getting double pistol grips on the sleeves and bringing my knees in, feet on the hips. I do this to start exercising control over my opponent's upper body. From here, I hip escape out to one side. One foot stays connected to the hip. The second leg kicks straight, comes over the top, and kicks through to the lat. Like my laces are basically on his lat or his lower back. Me scooting my hips out gives me the space to do that. If I just kick my leg over and try and get it in under here, I can't get that depth. And it's going to be a lot easier for Graham to press into me and start to look to pass. And this puts quite nasty pressure on my LCL. So I don't want that. So I hip escape, kick through, foot goes nice and deep. I anchor my elbow to my hip and turn back. My foot is now pretty much on his hip, which means I've created a wedge at the hip and I can off balance him to one side. From here, I've got the space open to step to the floor and I can keep bridging him to the side, punching out straight. Here I'm going to let go of the lasso grip and keep coming up. And if I'm being nice, I'm going to release the bicep slicer, come into a knee on belly or a top pin. Yesterday, we looked at an option when I get into my lasso and he's sitting back on his heels and I'm finding it difficult to get this rotation. And what we did was plant this foot, create a little bit of space, and then I just turned back and kicked out this knee. And I can sweep my way up into a mounted position. Today, the reaction that we're going to look at is when I start to off balance them when they're forward, he's going to step up on this leg to catch his balance before he tips. So I get the same catch, I start to turn, and he steps that leg out. What I need to do here is I'm going to take my leg to the outside of his knee and drop it underneath vis-a-vis a De La Riva. I'm going to switch my grips here from this to a lapel. I don't necessarily have to, but I find I get really good leverage here. I'm going to do that same stomp, extending this leg, and we're going to get this sweep off to the side. Can catch the leg, free that trapped arm, and move up. Lasso. He brings his leg up. I take my leg to the outside of the knee. I don't want to leave it up here. If I try and get this from here, my leg's kind of stuck between his armpit and his thigh. So I use a little bit of leverage to get this up, spread it outside the line of the knee and underneath, hooking on the inside of his thigh, stomp and kick. I get my sweep, coming up into my top pin. Make sure when you're shifting the lasso leg into the lasso de la Riva, or the de la lasso, or whatever you want to call it, that you're cutting a different angle with your hips too. So at the moment I'm on my right hip, often they're going to bring this leg up preemptively because they're wise to the lasso as a sweeping option. So I start back heeling a bit, turn, and I go all the way onto my left hip, right? The more I get onto this hip, it should be really difficult for him to move anywhere. And then from here, make sure that you're not just rolling him over and then trying to come up from here. I don't have any space. His leg is still in my way, right? So as I cut the angle, he brings his leg up, I scoop and turn. I'm going to punch, stomp the ground, and I'm kicking my left leg straight. See how much it turns his body? This is pretty extreme. Because Arnie's quite light, right? Even relative to my fucking chicken legs. But from here I've got loads of room to come up and catch this leg on my way through. One more time from a different angle. Here, I turn, lasso, turn again, kick the leg out straight, and I can come up. The closer he is to me when I get the sweep, the harder it's going to be for me to swing upwards and maintain top position. All right? Couple more reps, and then we'll put it into action. 1, 2. All right, I'll borrow Arnie. Oh, in fact, I'll borrow Gray. Sorry, brother. Respectfully, bro, respectfully. So guys, I really want to make sure, I'll use Arnie. Oh no, Tariq's here waiting. No, I will use you this time, bro. I don't want to leave you hanging twice. I'm not going to do that to you, bro. All right, so